Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett and I'm the founder and owner of TechFuseNope, and today I am going to show you how to install Windows 10 on a virtual machine, specifically VM workstation. Now, as far as things goes, if you decide to install Windows 10, keep in mind that you need to install either in a VM, some type of virtual machine, a dual boot, or on a spare computer. And the reason for this is Windows 10 is in the beta phases right now, so you may experience some actual real problems that might halt everything. And if you replace your current version of Windows with Windows 10, you probably can't get the old version back unless if you have the operating system software with you and a way to revert back, maybe a restore disk or something like that. But for the most part, you're going to be stuck with Windows 10 until you pay the money to buy a different operating system or revert to Linux or something like that. So keep that one in mind. Use it on a dual boot, use it on a spare computer, use it on a VM, and I'm going to show you how to do it on the VM. Now, before I jump into this and show you the links and how to do this step by step, I'm going to go ahead and give you a quick advertisement on how to support my channel, and that way I can do more videos like this and buy better equipment to do better videos and do better hacks on top-end machines and stuff. But anyways, I'll see you in a second. Thanks for sticking around during this transition. Now, if you want to help me out at all, either by financial or other means, then feel free to click the Patreon button to go to my Patreon campaign, and that way you can donate there and check out what I plan to do with the money. Or you can click the PayPal button and you can donate there. You can either donate one time there or do a monthly recurrence. And lastly, if you don't want to help out with money, either because you just don't have it or whatever it is, then feel free to share this video and share my other videos, and please check out the top button to go to my main channel. But anyways, hope that you like this video, and let's bring you back to the actual video. Welcome back. Now, first things first, you need to go to a link that I have below in the description, and this will take you to this page. So it's a direct link to it. And basically you need to, this will hold where you can download it and your system requirements and stuff like that. Before you download, because it is quite massive download, before you download, look at these system requirements. Make sure that your system is up to snuff. Other words, you can't run it. I mean, you can't give what you don't have. If I ask for $4 and you only have $2, guess what? You can't give it. So the same thing here. If your machine doesn't have it, then you can't run it. Now, once you made sure your system couldn't actually handle the stuff, I suggest signing up, and that way you can go and report bugs. You sign up by pressing this. I'm not going to do it right now. I've already done it on mine. But from here, what you can do is you go to the bottom and select the download version for you. Keep in mind the language and also 64 and 32-bit. Now, you may be asking, why am I going to download a almost 4 gigabytes where I can just download 3 gigabytes? Or what is the difference between 64 and 32-bit? This is very important because we're running in a virtual machine. If you do not have the memory, and when I'm talking about memory, I don't mean hard drive, I mean RAM. This is just another term for RAM. If you do not have the memory to sacrifice, to allocate to the virtual machine, then download 32-bit if your system can handle it. And the reason for this is 32-bit, it limits on how much memory the operating system is expecting. So you won't experience as many crashes because, not because of the code, but because there's a lack of memory. And this is a huge problem when people start messing with computers and they don't know what they're doing. They can run it where their system's looking for more memory than what's there, and you can get a lot of freezes, a lot of crashes, a lot of blue screens on Windows, and a lot of other things on other operating systems. So, what is a good amount of memory versus a bad amount for 32 and 64-bit? Personally, and this is just a personal decision, I personally would say anything above 6 gigabytes, and really you're looking at anything above 8 gigabytes, but I know some people don't have 8 gigabytes, but anything above 6 gigabytes of memory that you can allocate purely to the virtual machine, you probably can handle 64-bit. You're probably going to run some other problems here and there, but for the most part, you should be okay if you're doing something light. Where I got 22 gigabytes on my machine, I can allocate half of that easily to the virtual machine without a problem, without a blink of the eye. So I can run 64 bits without a problem. Now, if you are not sure and you want to be on the safe side, run 32 bits. There's no shame in it. It's just how it is. Now, keep in mind that if your machine has 8 gigabytes, that doesn't mean that you can run 8 gigabytes in the virtual machine. You still got to run a couple gigs, probably about 3 to even 4 gigs worth for your operating system, depending on the operating system and depending on what you're doing. So that's a huge thing that you got to keep in mind. So if you run 8 gigabytes on your actual machine, you might want to go with a 32-bit. Just in my opinion. Of course, you might run to different results. So let's go into the VMware, and let's actually load up this ISO file within the VMware. Now what you need to do is, once you have your VMware up and running, and I'm not going to show you how to download VMware. You should probably already have it. You can do it in VirtualBox and some other stuff. It's very similar. But in VMware, you just go to File, New Virtual Machine. Simple as that. I don't advise going to custom. There's no point into it. I've never really seen, I mean, there's probably 1 or 2 times I've ever seen something worthwhile going to custom, but those are mostly business. Other than that, I don't see a point into it. Go to typical, and what you need to do is go to the installer and make sure if you didn't burn it on a disk, then make sure that you just click the middle one so you can find it on your computer. Let's browse, and here we go, and press next, and click on Microsoft. Since Windows 8 is the newest one on my computer, you might have Windows 10 on yours. Click Windows 10 if you have it. But since Windows 8 is the newest one, it's a 64-bit. I'm just going to deal with that. They're very similar. I'm going to rename this to Windows 10. It's just something so I can keep track of which machines I have. And then just press next. You might have to modify that last one. I'm not going to get into that. Make sure everything's good. Finish. Now, very important, go to edit. And you might want to tell it how big your monitor is. So I have a 1920 by 1080 resolution. I got 2 monitors. I don't know if this works on 2 monitors. Some virtual machines like OS X doesn't use two monitors, but we'll find out shortly. And make sure the rest of the stuff is like it needs to be. So I have the internet going through that with the OS X, so it should easily go through that. And with this, I'm going to raise it all the way up to, and as you see here, it warns you. I'm going to raise it all the way up to 8. Let's type it in. So 1,000 megabytes is 1 gig, so I'm doing 8,000, which is 8 gigs. I think I got some processors allocated to that, so I'm gonna leave it as is. And everything else is pretty good. So look over here real quick, and we're good to go. Let's press OK, and let's power on this. So if the thing doesn't work, if you either got a settings on your computer, if they're not right, then you should probably see something pop up about now. And if you don't have your settings right, what I mean by that, in the BIOS you have to enable virtualization, virtual machine. It's called different things in different BIOSes, but if you don't have that enabled, then something should be coming up about right now. So save this video, do whatever it tells you to do on the instructions, because I can't show you. I have to log out and actually go through that route, and I can't record when I'm logged out. So I can't show you that. Just write down whatever it says to do. Do whatever it says, or do some research on your BIOS and figure out how to do it. And then once you enable it, come back to this video, and hopefully YouTube saved this checkpoint, the point of this video. Now from here, what you need to do is click next and install. Now real quick, you might hear some beeps and stuff from your computer. This is somewhat normal for when you're installing Windows virtual machines, so keep that in mind. Unless if it's like a real long beep or something like that, that's when you want to really worry. Other than that, I won't worry too much. So from here, I would just say upgrade. Oops. Custom size, sorry about that. And then next. And wait until this is done, and I will be right back. Now, welcome back. Now, as far as things goes, I was going to show you a step-by-step out through it, but it was on like 1 or 2 more steps, and my video thing crashed. So when you get to the next steps, just go and hit the use express whatever, and then when you need to get to the area where you make a user, create a local user and just put in whatever for the name. Don't worry about a password, especially if it's on a VM like this. Don't worry about a password, and you can leave the passwords blank and just click next and so on, and eventually you'll get something like this. So you might notice that the resolution is off. It's real small. I fixed it at the beginning to know that this is my actual resolution, and it couldn't question that through auto detect or whatever. So how do we fix the resolution? Well, what we need to do is go to the start area down here, and then we need to click the search area, then type in control, and you should see control panel. Unfortunately, unless if I missed it, unfortunately, yeah, it's not over here, which I don't like, because this is actually one of the most used things on a computer and normally deal with. But anyways, that side, what you need to do is go to the appearance, go to display, then adjust resolution, then move that wherever your resolution is. So for me, it's 1920 by 1080. And give it a second or two, and click keep. And at this point, you might want to make things bigger or smaller, like so. So it might be a little bit easier on you to see it. But anyways, as far as everything else goes, you can play around the overall Windows 10 area. Just keep in mind that most of everything you got to search now. But how do you shut down this in case if you never mess with a virtual machine? There's two ways to shut this down or restart. You can go through a software method like here, or you can go through this right here, shut down or restart. Now, if you shut down here, this acts like if you press the power button on the actual machine. And if you did a restart, it's act like you press the power button on the machine. Then when it's shut down, you press the power button again to turn it back on. That's what that's acting like. But if you went through the actual software side, that's acting like what most people go through is when they hit the shutdown or restart button through the software itself. Now, as far as what happens if you don't want this anymore, or if you dramatically messed up and you just want to go back to square one, let's shut this thing down through the software wise or whatever. It needs to be shut down no matter which method you choose. Then once it's shut down, you need to right click Windows 10, go down to manage. Then right here, the delete from disk, that should allow you to click on it once it's shut down, and that will delete it permanently from your disk. And you have to reinstall it through the ISO file if you want it back. So remember to keep the ISO file in case if you want it back. But for the most part, that's how you get rid of it. But anyways, hopefully this video has helped you out, and if it's helped you out, then please subscribe and please share, and I hope you have a great day. And also please feel free to look at the Patreon campaign and the PayPal donation page, and that way you can help me out with future videos and also with future equipment. But again, if you got any questions, go down in the comment section. If you want to add anything or add any details on any future specs or price points or anything like that for Windows 10, then feel free to leave that in the comment section. And if you got any tips for any other videos, also leave that in the comment section, or feel free to email me on techreviewsnup.com. And again, I hope that you liked this video. Please leave a like, please subscribe, and please share. And please check out the Patreon campaign, and I hope you have a great day.